Lemonade Podcast, episode one. Camera check one. Camera check two. Mic check. Lighting is in check. The mic is in check, right? Mic check. Hey, let's go, bro. Lemonade Podcast. It's your boy Tabs Gabs, Lemon Squeeze, Lemonade, Big Juice, Big Fruit, Big Lemon. What more can I say? Apart from this is very difficult. Honestly, man, let's have a real conversation about this. Like, bro, I'm always encouraging people to start podcasts and shit. And honestly, I've underestimated the difficulty it takes in like actually doing a well, at least a good quality podcast, which I aspire to do, obviously, right now. Like, bro, from the podcasts I've done, I've always made them like super structured. And I say the podcasts I've done because I've recorded this like 300 times and I failed like 300 times. And like having the structure really fucked with me because I'd always fuck up the structure. I'd always do things which like I have like notes saying I should make eye contact with the camera. I shouldn't laugh too much at my own jokes, even though they're incredibly funny and hilarious. And I wouldn't blame myself for laughing because damn, I mean, come on, who wouldn't laugh at that? And then always checking my posture to see if I'm like super proper with it. It's so difficult. And I'm not a perfectionist, but I could just see like um, when I'm doing certain things that hinder the quality of my work, it's like I just want to scrap everything. So I literally, maybe not 300, but I recorded this so many times on different occasions, just trying to make sure it's right. Sometimes I finish and then I look at it in post and it's trash. I'm like, damn, bro, like this is actually like, I think this is, in terms of actually learning to do it, it could be harder than videography and maybe like mixing and mastering. But maybe that's just me because I'm not necessarily a great communicator. And, even though this is not scripted and people like to tell me that I have a way of talking which is like nice and I have good vocabulary, I don't think I'm necessarily like that great at it. Maybe that's it. But this is definitely one of the most challenging things I've come across in terms of creativity. But I'm still, I don't know, maybe I should start painting. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't tested the boundaries yet. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Look, so this is basically gonna be non-scripted, even though I have certain topics that I want to talk about. Just so that I can actually get through this without deleting the whole thing. So yeah, man. I guess I should just start off with talking about this Patreon thing. I know it's very funny that I might post this on Patreon. Hopefully, I post it on Patreon. That's what makes sense. If I don't post it on Patreon, know that I fucked up. But for people who are unfamiliar with Patreon, Patreon is basically like an OnlyFans, except I won't be releasing nudes consistently. I mean, I made that joke before, but hopefully, like, okay, look, a Patreon is basically a subscription model which allows content creators to have another source of income, right? So, of course, I'm a rapper. I hope you knew that. Otherwise, I just sound like an arrogant dick. Like, I'm a rapper. I mix and master. Hey, that rhymes. Hey, I do production. I do videography. It just sounds like, but no, like I do all those things. Yes, my main thing is being a music artist, and as a music artist, the conventional mediums or the conventional ways of making money for an upcoming artist are incredibly scarce. Not that they're impossible to get, but they're scarce. And Patreon and OnlyFans and Buy Me a Coffee provide platforms which allow for artists like me who are upcoming to find different, alternative means of finding income. You know, so it's just great. So my Patreon, you know, I've put it at $3, and like the point is basically not like it's not supposed to be a GoFundMe. This isn't me saying give me money. No, it is not. This is an exchange. So it's a subscription model. The same way you pay for Apple Music, you get an exchange. You're paying so that you listen to music. So with me, I have exclusive content, just like this Patreon podcast. Patreon podcast, just like this podcast. You know what I'm saying? And I have more. I have an entire list on my Patreon. You should check it out. All the benefits, like I give you like a free CD, all that shit, right? At $3. So, my goal is to get to like 1,000. Definitely helps me out. I have 3 Patreons right now. Shout out to Tavonga, Pankaj, Kosi. Y'all the goats for real. It really helps me out in terms of breaking down my cost, even though it's not like $1 million or anything, but it goes a long way. Those three people combined give me like a clip every month, so I can like cut down the cost by a clip. And then when it turns to 30 people, it'll be $1,000. When it turns to 300 people, it'll be 10 grand. So, it goes a long way, and it's just to keep going in incremental steps. And, I can't wait to see how far this goes. Plus, I just love talking. So it's great that I get an opportunity or an excuse to start a podcast. Niggas don't be starting podcasts. I don't know why. I wish niggas could start podcasts low key just so that I can join the podcasts low key. But I really just wish niggas could start podcasts, especially the shawties. I be telling the shawties, bro, start a podcast. The YouTube shawties, I be like, start a podcast. Niggas don't be starting podcasts. Come on, Jimpos. Nimpos. Start the podcast, bro. Bro, then you can do this shit of having a Patreon and shit, and like, especially with the Patreon, I feel like my lips are dusty. Especially with the Patreon, I genuinely like. Firstly, I don't believe that if niggas are eating, I won't eat. So I'm very open to people taking the idea of doing a Patreon. It's not like it's my idea, but I don't necessarily see a lot of content creators doing this in terms of starting a Patreon. But I highly recommend it, especially for the people who have a lot more clout than me. Because if I can get 3 Patreons, I wonder how many Patreons you can get, and it's definitely helpful. I know like $100 might not seem like a lot of money at first, but it's been 5 months, so I've basically gotten 5 clips this year from doing exactly what I've been doing for the last 3 years, where I wasn't getting paid. You get what I'm saying? So it really helps out, man. And I know like people just in general don't take my advice, but I feel like that's advice that should be taken. Snobby tabs. Anyway, so yeah, like, I wanted to take the first episode, being as it's the free episode, to talk about myself because I'm narcissistic. I don't know why I did a fucking dramatic pause. But yeah, just because it just makes sense. Even starting it for the podcast specifically rather than just making it a public podcast, the reason why that is because it's like, if you're a Patreon, that definitely means that you like really rock with me. You're someone who's really down for the support, and you really want to join my journey on my music journey. You really want to join my music journey. So it just makes sense for me to have like a better connection with the people who are willing to do so, especially if you're willing to give up some of your money, so then me doing this podcast kind of gives a Patreon or an audience member some more insight on who I am and my personality, and I can talk about certain things of how I made this song and stories behind this song, and why I think in this way when I write, and I can just give them more insight. And since it's a platform where we can communicate, they can just say, yo, do this. I mean, either way, if you're a Patreon, I'm gonna get your number and we'll talk on WhatsApp so that there's better communication. But like, you can just say, yo, Tabs, why did you do this? I talk about it on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes sense that, I should give a little bit more to the people who support me the most, and not just give it up for everyone. I know it's just like 3 people, and for maybe like the next year, maybe I'll just be doing it for less than 10 people or less than 20 people. But, 20 people is still 20 people, and every person should be appreciated. At least that's how I see it. I don't know. That's just how I see it. Anyway, so yeah, man. So let me just talk about who I am. I'm this guy. I'm handsome, suave, sophisticated, intelligent. I'm a rapper, producer. What else do I do? Like, genuinely, I think, I do videography. I make my own music videos. That's it. Bro, I thought I was multifaceted. I thought I was gonna come up with like a whole lot of shit. I make beats, I mix and master. Does that count? I do sound engineering. I record myself. I shoot podcasts. I'm a podcaster now. But anyway, yeah, I've been making music for the last 4 years. Sorry, I cringe when I say it because I didn't think I wouldn't have blown up after 4 years. So I'm just like, damn, it's been 4 years with a hose. I'm just like, damn, bro. But no, it's been a great 4 years. I've just been progressing, of course. But I've been rapping specifically since I was probably 9, 8, 7 years old, around there. I started rapping literally. The process of me starting rapping was literally just me not knowing song lyrics and me filling the gaps of the lyrics. So there was a song, right? And I remember specifically one of the first songs, if not the first song that I used to do this with. And it was called I Like the Way She Do It by Lil Wayne. Not by Lil Wayne, by G Unit featuring Lil Wayne on the remix. So then I like the way she do it. I like the way she do it. Fire track, bro. And Wayne has this fire verse, bro. Ooh, Wayne, dog. Hey, Wayne kills it, bro. He was like, hey, mama, they call me Wheezy. You should be with me. I got a pocket full of visas. Baby, I could bless you and you ain't even sneezing. I'll be at your rescue and you ain't even need me. I can have you dreaming when you ain't even sleeping. Hey, bro. Wheezy had this hard verse, but I didn't know all the lyrics. So I'd make them up and then I'd sing them and I would rap them for my friends, and my friends didn't know the song. Either way, we were like 9 years old. I don't think niggas really knew music like that. I mean, I was ahead of my time. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rap the verse, and then fill in the shit, and then niggas would be like, "Damn, Travis, you can rap." And I did it for like one friend or two friends. It's not like I was doing this for a group of niggas. I wasn't that cool. A group of niggas probably did not want to hear a skinny nigga with glasses talk. I mean, rap. I mean, fuck it. Anyway, sorry. Had flashbacks. Anyway, so so I used to do this all the time, and then he was like, yo, you can rap. And I'm just like, bro, I'm just singing some lyrics that I heard. And I kept doing this, bro. Kept doing this since I was like 9. And then I kept it to myself. I know a lot of people in the industry just come into the industry because they want clouds, they want hoes, they want money. I know a lot of people do that shit. So for me specifically, I just kept it to myself because I didn't even think it was really cool. I just thought it was a thing that I can do, and I didn't think anyone would appreciate it. And then there was this one time on the Standard 6 trip, I was like rapping for niggas. And then niggas were like, oh my gosh, this is dope. And then I started rapping for everyone. And then everyone was like, and I was rapping the same verse, by the way. And then everyone was like, and I still kind of remember the verse. What was it? Like, I met a little chick, I gave her a little lift, I can't transform, but I better shape shift again and again, just like Ben 10. If my everything was better, I'd be Eminem. I think I also posted it, but it could have been another one. I'd be skateboarding in the morning with my Jordans, it's not boring, something like that. I remember I had like a very strong verse that I always stuck to, and then people really liked this verse, and I was like, God damn, people giving me appreciation. Remember, I wasn't cool, bro. So I didn't think I had any cool bone in my body for shit. I was just a guy, bro. And I was like, I was even surprised that people thought this was cool because honestly, to me, rapping is just very simple. I mean, I'm sure people think it's simple. You have bats, then you have cats, then you have that's, then you have tats, then you have mats, then you have flats, then you have ats. You know what I'm saying? I ran out of words. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like people, I'm sure people can see this shit is easy, bruh. And then it gets a bit tough. It gets tougher when you start rhyming with multiple syllables, of course. So then when you say holiday, you say all the way, and then you say far away, and then you say car go way. I don't know. I should do better as a rapper, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's not that deep. Most of it just comes from the bravado and how you say the shit. How you actually execute the verse, and then making sure that you're actually rhyming, and then you might have some punchlines in there just to keep it more entertaining. Like, it's not that deep, so I didn't think it was that deep, but people thought it was cool, and that was basically like the first. I guess like the first, well, the start of my rapping journey and me being known as a rapper. I wasn't always doing it for everyone. It wasn't like a thing I was very adamant about. But at the end of the day, people just always knew me as a nigga who raps, even when I didn't tell them that I rapped. It was very surprising in high school when niggas just found out that I rapped. And I didn't even have to tell them. It's one of the first encounters I've had with just how people, when you have something valuable, people will always just start spreading the news that, oh, this guy has something valuable. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just, to me, honestly, rapping isn't that deep, and I guess it's because I'm just that good at it, and I just understand that I just know how to do it very well. The same way, I guess, an engineer looks at servicing a car as not that deep, but it's just it's just something that I don't know. I don't know. It's still very shocking to me. Niggas be spitting the wackest of verses, and then niggas will be like, "Oh shit, that was crazy." Oh my mic. Oh shit, that was crazy. Like, bro, like this nigga just said, the lights, are going to heights. I don't know. Niggas just be having the wildest verses, and then niggas just be hyping them up, bro. But yeah, man, that was basically the start. And then I started getting into, going to the talent show to rap, and I'd release maybe like videos on Facebook. I have like two videos. Hey, the gang cringe. I like, bro. I don't know why. I thought I don't know why I thought at 13 years old I was in my right mind, thinking that I looks like that, thinking I looks like that, and I thought I was gonna get girls. Damn, bro. That's tough, bro. Hey, that's tough. But anyway, yeah, man. And I just started getting at it. But throughout it, I was always kind of discouraged because I always felt like if you're an artist in Bots, then you won't necessarily be able to break out and have a successful career in it. And then eventually, of course, being as I'm here right now, I decided to, get some balls and then actually decide to start a career in making music. So then I actually started making music. My first mixtape was called November. And, it's just been really cool from there. I'm very grateful for everyone I've met on my journey. I've met so many cool people. It's just incredible. A lot of people support me. I get too much love. I haven't been releasing content, but I have so much love, which is ridiculous. I don't even think I released like a new verse this year. But people, I don't know. Like I'm just so grateful. I don't know, like I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm just that nice. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, maybe I'm like the goat. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm not maybe. Um, so yeah, I've just been taking it from there, and I had to learn a lot on this journey. I had to figure out a lot of things, specifically on my own, because people have trash advice. For one thing, and another thing is that people just don't generally want to help or whatever. Uh, Okay, is that really true, Tabs? People don't want to help. Okay, like the people who I knew at the time before I helped myself did not want to help. So then I often had to learn a lot of things on my own, and it just started. I started getting more well informed about how the industry works and how to actually have a proper rollout for your album and how to, put your brand in position to actually make it a profitable brand. You know what I'm saying? Well, there are a lot of things that a lot of artists just aren't doing, which they could be doing, myself included. I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I'm special or something, but like, there's a lot of things as artists that we just don't do, which we can easily do. I mean, simply just releasing merchandise. I mean, I'm sure people will buy. You know what I'm saying? Even if you only have one fan, that's one person who buys, and it's either you don't like money or you don't like your fans. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what you're gonna do. I had to figure out, and I did figure out a lot of things, especially subscription models as we're doing today. I thought I heard something. Subscription models that we're doing today on this podcast. It's been a very interesting journey. I've learned a lot business wise. Like even if I somehow don't become sorry, bro. I keep thinking that niggas are mugging me, dog. I keep hearing shit. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic. I was just like shit. Anyway, yeah, like even if I don't become a successful artist, like I've just learned so much. I've grown so much over the past 4 years. Uh, as an individual, also in the eyes of other people, which has also shown me a lot about people, and has definitely given me so much insight, which I can now use in even my music process, because it's one thing to be a good rapper, but it's another thing to be able to articulate other people's ideas and other people's stories. It's been incredible for me, and you know, I only dream for the best. You know, I can't settle for being the best rapper in the country because I already am the best rapper in the country. I genuinely feel like I genuinely, not a genuine, I genuinely feel as if I'm better than uh every artist in South Africa, every artist in Africa. Let me just be like fucking legit, you know. And that's as a rapper. I'm not gonna say I make better music than AKA because I fuck with AKA a lot. Like I love his music. I love Aris's music. I used to love Nasty C's music. Now it's just like, you know, hey, I gotta be honest. It's just like, hey, but I used to love Nasty C's music. I still like bump a lot of his shit. Um, who else? You know, Dallas, KO. You know, I love all these artists, but I definitely think I'm a better rapper than them. It's just a matter of time. And you know, just because I don't want to sound blasphemous, I'm gonna keep it there, because I do think I'm a lot better than even other artists. But I don't want to be blasphemous. um, you know, so for me, really, the sky is the limit. You know, it's just about really putting in work and understanding how to get there. You know, genuinely for me, I feel as if, you know, the key to success is very simple. People are always looking for the key to success. I believe the key to success is just two things: knowledge and execution. So if you understand where to go and how to go there, then, you know, the only thing left to do is to get there. You know, it really comes down to those two things. Some people know what to do and they just don't do it. Some people, or they can't do it. Some people don't know what to do and they're just doing ridiculous shit. You know, there's so many facades that I can get to that are told by, you know, or at least narratives that are put out there by the media, whether it's done by artists or record labels, by saying, oh, if you want to be a successful artist, just keep on releasing music, you might blow up. Okay, maybe for like 0.0001%, but you know, the reality is just a bit different. Well, far different, and it doesn't say anything about that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these ideas and notions that have just been placed around us, which deceive us into thinking we know how to get to a certain place or know how someone else got to a certain place, but really it doesn't reflect the reality in any way. And you know, that can lead to people having, as I've seen, limiting beliefs as saying, "Oh, I can't do that because he did this in this way, so I know I can't do it because he did it like this, and he's him, and he did that." Like, nah, like there's so much in the world that we don't know, that if you really think that you know some shit, you're just being arrogant, and that's just your ego for real, bruh. You know, there's just so much that we don't know that we just have to keep on learning, and we have to just keep on learning. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, yeah, so definitely I'm for learning. Like I'm about to rant because like people, I get the impression, or I give the impression, sorry, poison English. I give the impression that I know a lot of shit, but for me, I don't think I know a lot of shit. I never did think I knew a lot of shit. I'm just ranting, but I never thought I knew shit. But you know, now that I guess, you know, I don't know, people have a clash of egos and a low key insecure. I don't know what it is. Let me just be honest. Like you see, I don't know shit. I don't know what it is. But people always think I think I'm like a know it all and I think I'm always right. But bro, I don't think that for shit. Like bro, like, and I never did, because growing up, people always thought I was like stupid, and you know, because I didn't study and I would never read shit. I mean, they had good reason, because I'd always fail school and I'd say some stupid shit a lot of the time. But I generally feel I haven't changed for shit. And now suddenly the people who are calling me smart, in fact, the same people who are calling me smart. So now I just know our perception around intelligence is fucked. Cause I mean, like, bro, I haven't changed a bit, and now you're like, oh wow, that's incredibly smart. Oh, and I'm like, I don't know, man, I don't know. But yeah, man, like I'm just a big advocate for keeping on learning. You know, that's really the key to success: knowledge and execution. So, you know, I'm so thankful for all the knowledge I've gotten on this journey. You know, all the mistakes I've made. You know, I could talk about so many mistakes that I made, from producers who were stealing my shit. Fucking producers. Not stealing my shit like music, but literally stealing my shit. Producers trying to cheat me money. Okay, well, they did. The producers who cheated me out of guap, mixing engineers who cheated me out of guap. Ah, man, bro. You know, videographers who are trash, managers who are trying to rip me off, promoters who are selling me. features which were not for sale. Bruh, so much shit that I could say, bruh. And it's just like I'm just so thankful that now I know, and at least I don't know. I mean, the Patreon is, I mean, the podcast is kind of private, but I just wish I could like tell people. But at the same time, I know that even if I did tell people, a lot of people wouldn't listen either way. Like, just that's just how like things naturally are, at least for the situation right now or whatever. But yeah, I'm running out of shit to say. I think that was a decent background. I could definitely go deeper into it of how like I didn't get girls in school and how I only had like three friends and I wasn't passing school and people would laugh at me and all that shit. You know what I mean? And talk about specifically what I really want to get into is like talking about the songs that I've made, and then the thought behind the songs and whether I like the songs and the songs which I think are trash, or maybe I can review my own album and say like, oh, I thought this was trash. People told me it was fire. All that shit. Like I really love that shit. When I do interviews, they always ask me fucking basic questions, bro. Niggas just be like, so why'd you name yourself Tabs? And I'm like, bro, my name's Taboka, dog. Come on, dog. You can do the math, dog. Like, what do you want me to say, bro? Yeah, I was on Google and then I saw the tabs. And then I was like, oh my goodness. But let me change the S to a Z. And my name's Taboka. So if I'm Google tabs, that means I'm searching for something. Or something like niggas will be really looking for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But bro, some things are just so simple to understand. They don't need to be explained, especially if you know that there's probably no backstory behind it. Like this nigga's nickname is Skara, his real name is Karabo. You're asking him, so why do they call you Scar? Like it's ridiculous, man. Um it's ridiculous. So I'm glad that I get this. I'm giving myself basically the opportunity to actually talk to people about all these things. Because no, people just generally don't ask. Like I really want to get into the details, and no, that does not mean I'm gonna start talking about the girls who I talk about in the songs, or maybe I don't know. Maybe if I'm feeling reckless, I don't know. I mean, if she wants to see it, she gotta pay. She gotta pay. I mean, but anyway, yeah, I think that could be enough for episode one. It's been like 30 minutes, close to 30 minutes, I guess. Um, so yeah, man, that was me, Tabs Gabs Lemon Squeeze. I hope a part of this video inspires you to actually become a Patreon member, because a lot of it will go to effective use in terms of the funding. Yeah, in terms of the funding. And yeah, man, I hope I can get more people to join this journey with me. Yeah, I guess that's it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I guess that's it. Episode one. Let's see where this goes, man. That's the June episode. Away. But yeah, tell me what you want for the next episode. Maybe I could like review an album, or I could tell you how I felt about a certain song, why I wrote in a specific way, how I think of my bars, maybe my process of writing, my process of making music in general, my process of mixing, anything, bruh. This is the people's platform, so yeah. Let's go. We did it. Take 301.